I'm Kelly Sundberg. I'm an associate professor at Mount Royal University in the Department of Economics, Justice and Policy Studies, and I'm also an adjunct associate professor in the Department of Environmental Design at the University of Calgary. And prior to my academic career, I served 15 years in various enforcement positions with what is today the Canada Border Services Agency. Been involved with this project. It was one of the little bit of a latecomer to it, but when I was approached and thinking about the importance of bridging knowledge between practitioners, academics, policymakers, and thinking of how this many barriers that exist in the study of borders, especially with the data, and how important it is for academic community to come together and really start looking at how can we build collective data sets that we can share information with one another so that we can identify realities and provide insight to the public and to academia and to government that truly is informed. When looking at projects that focus on the United States, American data is very available. Within a Canadian context, it's either the government doesn't collect it in a very usable manner, or they just won't share it. And this becomes a very big challenge. And what I really liked about this project is, although coming from an Alberta perspective, it's very personal to me. One, my family was one of the first settling families of Alberta back in the mid to late 1800s. So I have obviously a strong connection to the province. And then two, I've served as an officer at both the Calgary and Edmonton International Airports. And I've also been an inland immigration enforcement officer and served as the Minister's Counsel in Calgary in the inland enforcement and with the Immigration Refugee Board in Calgary. And then now leaving the government and going into academia at Mount Royal, which is a university in Calgary. It's been a wonderful experience and opportunity to be one of the first and only people, I'm the only person right now, to actually start looking at how border security within a context of Alberta plays. Now, obviously, there's only 4% of the CBSA's operation is within the province of Alberta, and a smaller fraction, obviously, within Calgary. But when we think of the growth of Calgary, and we think of the prairies becoming now a destination for a lot of newcomers to Canada, it's important that these issues start to be looked at. And although it truly isn't a major part of the puzzle, it's a part of the puzzle nonetheless, and it's becoming more important, and it's exciting to look at. And I think there's something that can be learned from a small microcosm of the CBSA picture that perhaps in areas like Toronto or Vancouver or Montreal, where we see much larger operations, because they're so busy and because they're just constantly going, we can take a look at what's happening in smaller centers like Calgary and Edmonton, and say, when we slow the exact same process down, we can start to see inefficiencies and effectiveness. Where is there an opportunity for learning and education of officers and these things? So I'm really hoping that this project will foster research in that area.